When Dr. King was out there speaking, I mean, I was a kid, but just imagine if you was there and listening to him talk and bringing people together from all over the world.
He let people know that it was a time for everyone to come together as a society, as a group, as a community, to really embrace one another.
It is a true power for us all to work together and make the world turn.
The small city of Anderson is nestled in the valley below Mount Shasta.
When I came up here, it was a little bit of a culture shock for me because there is a fair amount of rednecks in this part of the country and in this town, in Shasta County.
Shasta County is a religious community. The town of Anderson has 4 pages of churches in the telephone book, serving a population of about 10,000.
Anderson is not a wealthy community. It's a community of people that are modest in terms of finances and yet huge in terms of capacity to love and extend community to one another.
African Americans make up less than 1% of the population in Shasta County. 82-year-old Isaac Lowe has been part of every civil rights struggle here since she arrived in the 1940s. She's been called the Rosa Parks of Shasta County.
We had signs in bars and restaurants. They said, no dogs and Negroes allowed, to put the dog first.
Racism isn't just history in Shasta County. Anderson Police Chief Neil Purcell recalls a January morning when 2 of his officers went to an Anderson Heights home and discovered a symbol of racism blazing on the lawn.
They went and knocked on the door, and it happened to be a young black lady that answered the door. She had no idea that cross was burning. She was very aghast and very frightened when she saw it.
The burning cross was 8 feet high.
4 feet away from the house. Gasoline shirt burning, and if it had fell over, it would have got to the house. And she was in there with her children.
It's truly meant to drive them out. If you don't drive them out, then we're going to keep going further, and pretty soon we will burn your house down.
The African-American woman whose home was the target of the cross burning did not want to appear on camera out of concern for the safety of her children, but she wanted her voice to be heard.
I am a nice person, and I have friends and family that are all kinds of colors, and it just really shocked me to know that people still do those things.
It made us aware of racism, and quite honestly, I was not aware of racism. I hadn't seen it, and I never thought it would happen in Anderson, California. I never thought it would, and I was wrong.
Some people I knew were like, oh man, you better leave, you know. I kind of felt the same in a way, but I think it's very important to stand up for your rights or for what you believe or just for who you are.
You can't go around living in fear every day. You know that? You'd never get any rest. You'd be a nervous wreck. You can't do that. And I refuse to do it. And I refuse to allow my children or my grandchildren. I don't want them to live that way.
Chief Purcell did not hesitate to treat the cross burning as a hate crime.
This is a priority. This is on the same level as homicide as far as I'm concerned.
Law enforcement was doing its part, but it takes more than police to make a community safe from hate.
They had a meeting following it and decide what they were going to do, and they decided to have a rally to say, not in our town, you know.
We get to talking, and we said, I wonder if we could arrange to have a solidarity march. We kind of bandied around, oh, geez, if we get 50 people, that'll be great. Here comes Friday, and when I woke up at 7 a.m., it was pouring. Or when I got to work at 7, it was just pouring, downpour. It never quit, just never quit. So we said, well, we're going to be lucky to have 25 people, because no one's going to come out in this rain like this. And the people kept coming, and they kept coming. Everybody had an umbrella, raincoats on, and they just kept pouring in.
Those people were out there saying, we will not have this. And this is where I see where people are starting to realize the importance of banding together.
We did 3 different counts and we had over 600 people there. And these were people I recognized, in my opinion, pretty good rednecks. But they got behind this and they wanted to send a message out.
Right in the middle of the rally, the police chief learned of a break in the case.
And I got the call from my detectives saying, we've got 2 people that we're serving search warrants on, and we've got our suspects in custody.
The campaign against hate in Anderson didn't stop with the march. It was a beginning. And today when you enter Anderson, you'll see official city limit signs that say, no room for racism, hate, or violence. Because of the overwhelming support from the community, the young mother whose family was the target of hate has decided to stay in Anderson.